Well, I seem to have a way with provocative titles the last couple of days. So let's get started on this one. The Japan family machine. Or should I say the Japanese family is a machine. This thought came to me this morning over breakfast. I was thinking about a comment from Jimera over last night's video, The Japanese Salaryman's Heart, in which I was posted outside an insurance company late at night, talking about the Japanese businessmen busy inside late at night, working away, while their families were getting ready, pretty much going to bed at home, and the separate lives that they live. And Jimera made a keen observation, hearkening back to the Japanese Japan macho irresponsibility video about the masculine role of Japanese men. In fact, what might be called an ultra-masculine role in the last generation, diminishing a bit in this one, and how if that was the case, if men really did feel that that strong masculine role, then maybe they would be more at home in the company of their own kind, of other men, and maybe that's one of the reasons they tend to stay at work. And I think you might have something there, Jimera. I think that might indeed, there's that camaraderie, that sense of being with your tribe. And I think that's a common element in societies around the world, but especially here in Japan. And so how does that relate to any idea of a machine in the Japanese family? Well, as I was munching away on my cornflakes, I was thinking these thoughts over and picturing in my mind how a really well-designed machine operates. A really well-designed machine operates in such a way that the individual pieces, the cogs, the gears, and all of the machinery that make up the machine really do operate. They are independent entities of their own, practically useless on their own. If you separate out any one component of a really nice watch, take off the gears, for example, and set that one gear aside, the gear is useless on its own, and only realizes its potential and its operational capacity and capability when it's integrated in with the whole. And I think that the Japanese family is in many ways similar to a really well-made watch, whereas the individual units and the pieces are designed to operate together, not separately. And in this capacity, men are designed to operate as workers, as laborers, as the breadwinners, and the women operate as the homemakers. It's the old traditional model that's so common in society. Now with this model, and it's not a new model, this is a very familiar model to anybody. But what's interesting is to contrast this with, and I can only use my own culture as an example, but contrast this with what I know in the United States, whereas we have families that are modeled in a different way, at least in contemporary years, that's the case. Whereas instead of having units that operate, I'm talking about the parental units, the adult units that operate, are designed to operate together. They really operate more as individual units, and in many ways having redundant factors. For example, men and women often play the same roles in the family of simultaneously being breadwinner, caregiver, provider, nurturer. All of these roles are being provided basically in duplicate with both mother and father at the same time. Now, why is that the case? Well, in a contemporary American culture, families tend to split up a lot, and we never know just when mom and dad may be tasked to do one role or the other, to be a breadwinner today and caregiver tomorrow, or simultaneously both at the same time if the family breaks up. I remember growing up, I, for example, grew up in a generation where at one point, all of my friends, not a single one of them, had an intact family. We all came from broken homes, and therefore, as a result, men and women have to have these dual roles. Because it's the nature of society to, at this time, at least in the United States, to seem to have a lot of broken families. Now, that's not the case in all cases, of course. In the United States, there's lots of single unit families, but it seems to be the norm far more so than here in Japan. So what we have then is, in the United States, we have a unit, a machine that operates with individual components that are self-sufficient and can operate on their own. As a result, they may not operate as efficiently together, but when they are together, they might have a lot in common. Isn't that interesting? So let me just restate that. When they are together, they may have a lot in common. And I'm restating that not to hear my own words again, but because I think there's something profound in there. And not profound in my own ideas, but profound in what it illustrates. That men and women, by virtue of in the United States, by virtue of pressing towards the same common goals, as both understanding one another's role as provider and as caregiver, as nurturer, have something in common in that capacity. Whereas in Japan, the roles are so distinct that in many ways they live in separate universes. And that now I'm coming all the way back to Jamera's point, that the men therefore may feel more in common company at the business, at the company, with their fellow workers, with their fellow providers and breadwinners than they may do at home with their wives who live in a completely different world. Does this explain why the men work so long? Is this the one and only reason why men do this? No, it certainly isn't. It may not even be a part of the reason. It may just be pure speculation here, completely off base, perhaps. But I do think that it does illustrate something about the nature of the family in Japan, the nature of the roles of men and women in Japan, and possibly gives us some idea about why it is that men seem to be so comfortable in the work environment. Not that they're necessarily happy in that work environment, but I do know from experience, being in that environment, there are men there who seem to want to stay there. Even though their work is done, even though they may not be enjoying themselves, they find more comfort there than... I've been flat out told this by men in Japan. I've been flat out told that work is easier than going home. Now that was just... that can't be extrapolated into the entire condition of the Japanese male worker, but I think it does illustrate something about the mindset. Jamera, I want to thank you for bringing an interesting observation to the table that I think may help to make a connection between the Japanese male identity and an understanding about why they seem to be willing to basically lay down their lives for work, which in turn is doing it for family, but you see what I mean. Well, okay, well, I better get to work myself. It's my job after all. Should I go secular or religious? Secular or religious? Secular being the path along the street, or religious being through the shrine? Hey, always got to take the shrine route. Can't miss the chance to go somewhere spiritual. Whenever the chance is offered. I hope you guys all have a great day. I'll see you next time as I pass through the gates. Bye-bye.